Hey, how's everybody doing? Been a while since I uploaded, so what better way than the only other thing I ever do when I upload, and that is more deck profiles. You see the title, you see the cards. I am bringing Chaos Max back. Two reasons for this. One, it's just been a while since I played the deck, and I have a lot of favorite decks, but this one's one of my favorites, especially since it's just nostalgic for me. It's the first deck I ever took to a tournament, and I had a blast with it when I played it. So I just wanted to bring it back and see what I could do with it again, especially since I got some new cards that go well with it. And two, and I guess more importantly, we're kind of in like a ban list limbo right now. The ban list doesn't drop till, what's today, Saturday. The ban list doesn't take effect till Thursday. But my local always likes to implement the ban list early. Usually ban lists drop on a Monday, but this one's weird. It goes into effect on a Thursday. So I have no idea if my store is going to implement the ban list by the next local or not. So I'm just going to play it safe and play this deck regardless, just whatever they do with it. So I guess explanations out the way. Let's just get into what I'm running here. This is a 43 card deck, if I recall correctly, 42 or 43. Shocker, I didn't get the card number down to 40, about what I'd expect from myself. But let's just jump right in. Of course, this is Chaos Max, so you have to play 3 of Chaos Max itself, as well as 2 Chaos Dragon. I mean, self-explanatory. You want 3 of these, you want to see it. There's ways to search it, but you want to be able to see this one. And you play less of this one, but this one's just as handy because it helps to kill by getting the opponent's monsters to defense and to 0 defense, and that helps with the Chaos Max OTK. Playing 3 Blue Eyes. Playing the gold rare version because this is the only one I have in 3 of that is the same rarity, like the exact same rarity. I have ones that are the same artwork but different rarities and different types, and that would just bug me. But not playing alternative dragon in this deck, and that's just because I considered it, but there aren't as many situations where it comes up. And with the ratios and the cards that I'm running, 3 Blue Eyes can be kind of bricky. But I mean, with the cards and the spells I'm running, it actually ended up working out. I'm playing cards like Trade In. I can Ritual Summon from the hand, so it ends up not really being that much of an issue. So I just found that just having 3 Blue Eyes in the deck and no alternative just ends up working out decently well. Onto the, I am running the Impcantation engine for the ritual searches. I'm not running any of the Drytron stuff because I know there are Chaos Max Drytron builds out there, but I'm not doing that. I'm running 2 Chalice Slime and 1 Preparation of Rites. The reason I'm not running 3 Chalice Slime is because I just wanted to. I only own 1 of these cards somehow. Don't know how that turned out. I would probably adjust my ratios to run like 3 of these and 2 or 3 of these if I owned more. But the reason I'm not running 3 Chalice Slime is because that gives me an opportunity to use Prep of Rites, and if I have a ritual spell in the graveyard that I've already used or that I had to discard off of another effect, I can just get it back for free and get Chalice Slime. And other than that, that's pretty much the only reason I'm doing that. As for the incantations themselves, I'm running 2 Candle, 2 Talismandra, a Bookstone, and a Pensaplume. This is pretty much the standard ratios you run if you're running any type of incantation engine. Just decided to keep it simple with that. Connor, I know you're watching this, and I know you're screaming at me for these ratios, but it's been working in testing so far. So, I mean, it's Chaos Max. I'm not expecting to get far anyway, but scream at me if you will, but oh well. And then I'm running 3 Manju. Unfortunately, one of these is still a filthy common. I was trying to hold off making this deck profile because I wanted to get in. I ordered rarity upgrades for these cards. I still have one more Ultra Manju supposed to come in, but it didn't come in time. And then you saw the extra deck I'm playing Almirage. There was one more rarity upgrade with that as well that I haven't gotten, but I digress. It's fine. Everything's fine. But Ritual Strategy, 3 Manju, kind of standard. And then for the last of the monsters, I am playing 3 Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. And this is very simple. It helps with OTK with Chaos Max. Give your opponent this, swing at it. With Chaos Max, you win the game. It's no more complicated than that. On to the spells. We're playing 3 Advanced Ritual Art. This just helps get out Chaos Max. That's why we're playing 3 Blue Eyes as well. And 2 Chaos Form, because if you can summon it from the hand or by banishing one from the grave as well, that also works if you end up drawing them. Not quite standard ratio for these, I guess, but I mean, you just want to see them. It's harder to search out the spells than it is the monsters, so I wanted to run a decent bit of the spells as well. Speaking of getting to the monsters, 3 Melody. This is, I mean, it's free. It's free Chaos Max or Chaos Dragon to your hand, or if you need discard fodder for trade-in, because we do play trade-in, then you can get some of those to your hand. It just ends up working out. Speaking of the draw cards, we play 3 Pot of Extravagance because you really don't care about the extra deck. So it's just a Pot of Greed for this deck, and then 3 trade-in. They can kind of conflict with each other. If you activate Extravagance and then you get into trade-in, then that's unfortunate, but I mean, this is Chaos Max. You need as much help getting to stuff as you can, so that's just why I decided to go with that. And just for the rest of the cards, we run Call by the Grave and Instant Fusion. We play Restrict because we like to play around hand traps. By running these, hand traps kinda screw us. And just some of the quality of life cards. I run a Lightning Storm and a Feather Duster, and then 2 Droplets. And yeah, nothing else to say about those. That's it for the main deck. As you can see, we don't really run any hand traps, and unfortunately you can't really do that because in Chaos Max you have to prioritize consistency over everything else, and there's a lot you have to do to make this deck consistent, and unfortunately sacrificing hand traps is one of those. And I'm already pushing the limits of how many cards you can run in this in general, because like I said, this is a 42 or 43 card deck, I can't remember, and that's after putting in, you know, the back row removal and the droplets, and that's just because I felt like I needed something to help play around what my opponent is doing, because this is a go second deck. This deck does not go first, and yeah, just figuring out which cards you need to help play through other stuff is just really hard in this. You can't really play hand traps, so you're gonna have to play through full opponent's boards, which gets really it just gets really difficult. On to the extra deck. Really the only one you care about in the extra deck is the Almirage. We're playing 3 of them because I play Pot of Extravagance. This was something else I was waiting for in the mail because I have my 2 secret Almirages and the 1 Ultra. I was hoping I would get the 3rd secret by the time I made this video, but oh well, it's still playable. This is the only monster you care about in the extra deck because it helps to, because you normal summon Ibly, you link it away for Almirage, you give your opponent the Ibly, and then you summon Chaos Max, attack it, and you win the game because double piercing is a hell of a thing. The rest of the extra deck is just stuff that may come up, but you largely don't care about it because most of your extra decks is just here for Pot of Extravagance. I play 2 Geonator because if it ever comes up where you can make this before you use the Incantation engine, then if your opponent doesn't play around Geonator, you can give them a 0 attack Incantation, steal one of their monsters, and then, you know, Chaos Max attack into an Incantation, you win the game. That's just if that ever comes up. 1 BLS link. This could potentially come up. I just decided to play it because obviously Chaos Dragon and Chaos Max are above level 7. A link 3 is much more reasonable than a link 4. Playing access code in this just really wouldn't make sense because these are all the links I play, so you wouldn't get that many pops with it anyway. You wouldn't be able to make it more powerful. Chaos Max is your main OTK thing anyway, so there's no reason to play something like Access Code or Boral Sword. I just decided to play this because, I mean, Chaos Max and Chaos Dragon already can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, so this may seem redundant, but I mean, if the other effects, like the Banish or the extra attack, if that ever came in handy, I would just decide to play this. Also, the other reason I decided to play this is because last time I played Chaos Max, I ended up in a Shaddoll matchup, and fun fact, Shaddoll Schism sends if you summon something with the same attributes. So Chaos Max says it can't be targeted or destroyed. Sending does nothing, and Shaddoll can very easily summon a dark monster off of Schism. But they don't really run Earth. So if I'm ever up against the Shaddoll matchup and I can summon this and just sit on this, then Schism really doesn't do anything for them against this. So it's just mainly for that matchup, if that ever comes up, or if the situation just arises where I ever need that. Fusions, we run the Restrict because we run Instant Fusion. And I don't really ever expect to summon this, but I run Twin Burst just because I have Blue Eyes in here. I don't ever think I'll be in a situation where 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons are on the field. I just wanted to run this because it just seemed cool on the off chance that this ever happened. It's just, you more so run this if you're also running Alternative Dragon, but I mean, like I said, the extra deck's just here for fluff. You really don't care about most of the stuff that's in here. Something that could come up though, I do run Draglubion, Hope Harbinger, and Numeron Dragon. There's a lot of rank 8s in here if I ever end up in a situation where I think Chaos Max can't win me the game, but Numeron Dragon can, then I have that option available to me. Not as likely, but I mean, I just gave myself that choice. And just the rest of the rank 8s, so the rank 8 engine. I'm playing a Spring and Ship Exoblower. If that ever comes up to help destroy stuff on the opponent's board to help clear it, then I have that. I'm playing a Sky Prison if that ever comes up against matchups where summoning from the grave is something I want to stop them from doing. And then just having the Pain Gainer and the Zeus because, I mean, if you can go into Zeus, why not? And that's it for the extra deck. On to the side deck. We have a, I expect Sky Striker and stuff to come back more to prominence. So I have the 3 Ghost Bell. Finally was able to get the secret rare versions of these, and I am extremely happy about that. But there's a lot of stuff that's coming up that gets hit by Ghost Bell. Striker's going to come back to prominence. We're having a decent bit of Drytron at my local. This also stops Tri Brigade Revolt, which is a hell of a card that I hate, so I wanted something to stop that from happening. We have the 3 Droll, because this hits a lot of matchups that are really, really annoying for me. So, I mean, you should at least be side decking this. I considered main decking it, but I just needed space for the rest of my engine, because, I mean, it's Chaos Max. 3 Lancia, because we still have a bunch of stuff at both my local and in the meta that is centered around banishing. We still have some dinos left, even though Mist got hit. We have Tri Brigade. Drytron has to do some stuff to banish, so I mean, having stuff that stops that is just always handy. And then the rest of my extra deck is for if I know I'm going first, because this deck does not go first whatsoever, so I needed to put cards in that would help me do that. And the cards I chose to help me do that were Ice Dragon's Prison, and There Can Be Only One. IDP is just a good card in general. It hits pretty much every matchup that I go up against on my locals or that's just in the meta. It's just a really handy card to have. And There Can Be Only One is a floodgate that I don't like playing floodgates, but when my deck doesn't go first, I need something to help. And There Can Be Only One doesn't really do anything to me. Pretty much every monster in my deck is a different attribute, except for Chaos Dragon and Chaos Max are both dragons, obviously. And then Ibli and Almirage are both Cybers. But I mean, if I just make Almirage and give them Ibli anyway, then that wouldn't end up mattering. And then I mean, as long as I stop them more so than I stop myself, it doesn't really matter, because I can just sit on Chaos Max and slowly beat him to death anyway. I just needed something to help bolster myself and help going first, because this deck does not go first whatsoever. That's about all I got for that. As per usual, I don't expect to get very far with this because it is Chaos Max, but I just wanted to bring it back and have some fun with it because I haven't done it in a while. And Banlist Limbo is a hell of a place to be. But that's about all I got for this. Thanks for tuning in and have a good rest of the day.